Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm, great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones too late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to cosign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr Boyce TV. Here we are.
Hey, good morning, guys. What's going on? I hope you guys are having a good day. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World and the Black Business School, and I am here down in Florida. I decided to take a little trip because we are done sitting around waiting to die, or hoping that we won't die. That's not of interest to me. I want to say what's up to everybody on Instagram. My Instagram is The Real Boyce Watkins. Feel free to follow us on Instagram if that's of interest to you. And also, congratulations to all my stock investors out here. The stock market today is sky high, skyrocketing, and it's good. I believe it's going to continue to skyrocket mainly because I believe that because we pour so much energy and so many resources into finding a vaccine for Corona, that's going to end up just propelling the market forward. Every time there's a little bit of optimism, you see the market move extensively. So those of you who've been following some of the stock market stuff that we've been doing, congratulations, because I'm sure you made a ton of money. Or if your portfolios are balanced the way we've talked about, you probably made a ton of money today. So that's really good for you. Those who are interested in getting started, if you haven't bought your first share of stock, you can actually learn for free. Go to firstshareofstock.com. That's firstshareofstock.com. That's 4 words, firstshareofstock.com. All right, guys. So let me break this down for you real quick. I just got this interesting message, and it has to do with politics, and I thought it was worth discussing real quick. It basically shows this. You guys won't believe this, but it's statistics from the 2016 election. So different people are going to have different interpretations of this data, but you guys know I'm all about the numbers. I'm all about the data. Just like with this whole Corona thing, I didn't really want to hear what MSNBC had to say. I wanted to see the data. I didn't want to hear what Fox had to say. I wanted to see the data. I didn't want to hear what CNN had to say. I wanted to see the data because I believe everybody's got a spin, and I believe that we live in an era where you've got to go dig up your own information as much as possible, or at the very least hear all the different perspectives so you can take it all in. You have to be a judge. In a courtroom, a lawyer is not going to have and lay out the complete truth, right? Because a lawyer is trying to defend their clients. They have an agenda. A prosecutor is not going to lay out the complete truth because a prosecutor has one goal, which is a conviction. The only person that's going to have a chance of finding the truth will be the judge and the jury. Why? Well, because the judge and the jury are hearing both sides. So if you're not listening to both sides, then you're probably not getting access to the truth, because you need to position yourself as a judge, not as a prosecutor and not as a defense attorney, because defense attorneys and prosecutors pretty much, unfortunately, they have to kind of spin for a living, lie for a living, whatever you want to call it. So I like to be a judge. I like to sit in the middle, and I watch all the networks to see what they're all saying, but then I go look at the data, and that's how I came to my conclusions about the virus, which actually happened to be quite correct. The virus was never what people said it was going to be, and I said it. If you go back 2 months ago, you'll know I said that it wasn't going to be what people were saying. I said this isn't adding up. It's not making sense. The data is not coming together. And now you're seeing a lot of people have made a lot of money because when the whole economy crashed and burned, and there was all this money out there to be made because all of a sudden the whole stock market was, 30-40% off. So my students and I, we were buying everything. We were just buy. And now, everything's starting to come back up, and the sun's coming back out. People are not as scared as they used to be. And the people who had that first mover advantage made money. Jeff Bezos, the richest man in the world who runs Amazon, is about $30 billion richer after the pandemic than he was before the pandemic. Why? Well, because you make moves when everybody else is scared. Warren Buffett used to say that you should be greedy when others are fearful, fearful when others are greedy. China has shifted the balance, the global balance of power, economically and otherwise, during the pandemic. The Chinese, their number one problem last year was Hong Kong. Hong Kong had hundreds of thousands of protesters packed up in the streets and disrupting everything about what they were trying to do in China. Well, guess what? During the pandemic, China used that as an opportunity. They said, oh, okay, well, everybody's scared and sitting at home and hiding. We're going to go out here and basically go make this move on Hong Kong. Now Hong Kong is done. There's an article in The Economist, I think, literally, with the title is Hong Kong is dead. Like literally, it's like Hong Kong, because China just passed some security laws. They're like, okay, now you have no more freedom, and that's when they take your freedom. They take your freedom in the dark. Imagine you're in a room and you've got, two thieves and a child molester, and you're in this room with a bunch of people, and the lights go out. If the lights go out, then that's when the thieves, the child molesters, the rapists, the murderers are all going to do their dirt. People do their dirt in the dark. Well, the world has been dark for about 2 months because everybody's been sitting around in fear. And so I just want to encourage you guys to sort of pay attention, play chess, not checkers. Pay attention to what's happening around you, because everybody's got an agenda. Everybody's playing a game. And I just think it's sad, but it's life. It's life. All right. So anyway, hit the thumbs up button. By the way, if you haven't hit the thumbs up button, please do that. Also, hello to everybody on Instagram. My Instagram is The Real Boyce Watkins. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, go to The Real Boyce Watkins. We have real conversations, no coonery, no buffoonery, this ain't no hippity hop channel. This is like a real channel for black people that actually want to think and actually want to grow and want to be smart and want to be strategic. It's not a minstrel show. We're not into that. All right, so here's what I saw. This data. This is really interesting. It says here, and this is somebody, and people are going to interpret this data in different ways based on what their agenda is, what their political ideology happens to be. But check this out. Did you guys know that Trump won Wisconsin in the last election by 23,000 votes? Did y'all know that? And did you also know that in that same election, 93,000 black people did not vote in Milwaukee? Milwaukee alone, not the whole state of Wisconsin. In Milwaukee alone, 93,000 black people did not vote. And Trump won that state by 23,000 votes. Okay, so we know that, right? Okay, let's go to the next piece of data here. I like the data. Trump won Florida by 113,000 votes. In Miami, 379,000 black people did not vote. So Trump won by 113,000 in the state of Florida. And in Miami, 339,000 black people didn't vote. Trump won Michigan by 11,000 votes. In Detroit alone, 277,000 black people did not vote. So Detroit by itself could have tipped the balance of power in the state of Michigan, maybe for the entire country, by showing up to the polls. Let's keep going. Trump won Pennsylvania by 44,000 votes. In Philadelphia, 238,000 black people did not vote. Okay. Crazy, right? Crazy. Georgia. Trump won Georgia by 211,000 votes. In Atlanta, 530,000 black people did not vote. So I know that people are going to interpret these facts in whatever way that they want. They're going to see what they want, and I think that's totally fine. But let me tell you what I see. Here's what I see. No matter what you think about this data, one thing that is abundantly clear, and Mr. Biden knows this. Mr. Biden knows this very well. That's why he works so hard to keep the black vote and to control the black vote, is that the black vote matters, right? The black vote is critical to winning elections if you are a Democrat or Republican, really. I mean, you can't win elections without black people voting. We're one of the last major voting blocks in this country. That's true. Now here's what Roland Martin or Angela Rye or Van Jones would say about this. They would say, you see, we got to show up to the polls. We're not voting. We're not doing our part. Simone Sanders would be like, see, black people, y'all are the reason Trump is in office. Y'all not doing your job. You're not doing your job, right? Right? That's what they would say, and that's fine. They can say that, and people are going to be like, that's right. These Negroes need to do their damn job, right? Well, the way I would see it is like this. I see it like this. One time, one time I knew a guy who said that he was miserable in his marriage. And I said, well, why are you miserable? He said, man, my wife ain't had sex with me in a year. And she's not doing what a wife's supposed to do. She should be having sex with me because I'm her husband. She's denying me affection. Right? Now, here's the thing, right? And so I sat there, I was like, man, that sucks. Wow. Dang, that's tough. Right? But deep down, you know what I was thinking? I was thinking, yeah, well, I know how you treat your wife. I know that you ignore her. You don't want to have a conversation with her. You haven't told her she was beautiful since the 90s. You're always barking at her. When you do talk to her, you're yelling at her. You're telling her what to do. You're not respectful. You're not a good person. You're not a man that she is attracted to. Right? That's what I knew. Right? But I didn't say it, of course, because I didn't want to have a fight with my friend. But here was my thing. My thing was, you're complaining that your wife ain't doing her job, but really, you ain't doing your job. You reneged on your end of the bargain, and that's why she's reneging on hers. So why do I bring that up? Some of you that think ahead understand why I brought this up. But let me explain. Let me make it plain for those in the back who don't get it. The reason that a lot of black people don't show up to the polls is because the Democratic Party has not shown up for black people. You complain about black people not doing their job. You're barking at them you're barking at black folks like they're slaves. You claim to be the people that are helping to free black people, but yet you want black people in slavery, right? You claim to be liberators of black people, but yet there's no liberation when somebody's forcing you to do something, right? You're seriously, you're saying well, the Republicans are going to put you in chains and make you slaves. Now get over there, nigga, and vote for me in the polls, right? So you ain't making no damn sense. You're expecting black people to do our job and show up and vote for you, but you're not doing your job and showing up for the black community. And the reason that you're mad is because you too, as the former slave masters that you are accustomed, like the rest of America, to having black people do something for you for nothing. This country was built on slavery. This country was built on the mass exploitation of black people. This country was built on receiving from black people and not giving back a damn thing. This country was built on I'm not gonna do unto others as they do unto me. I'm gonna have black people do good things for me, but that's not anywhere near what I would actually do for them. So you built this what they would call asymmetric, imbalanced relationship with black people, where you are expecting everything but willing to give nothing. And now you're complaining because some black folks, hundreds of thousands of them, enough to shift the election, ain't showing up for you. They basically giving you the middle finger. They're no different from my friend's wife, who probably not only was, seriously, if I want to keep it 100, not only was this man's wife refusing to sleep with him, I really think she was fucking somebody else. I think that she was getting with a man that really appreciated what she had to offer. She was getting with a man who understood the nature of quid pro quo. Dr. Claude Anderson talks about it all the time. I think that she was getting with a man who, told her that she was pretty, made her feel sexy, let her, listen to her when she has something to say, showed the respect that she wanted from her husband but never received, and she wasn't tolerating that anymore. So when I get mad at you because you're not doing your job, that is a narcissistic action. See, Donald Trump is the ultimate narcissist. We know this. But the Democratic Party, their behavior is incredibly narcissistic, because if all I can do is think about the fact that you're not doing your job, and I haven't taken 1 second to say, well, maybe I didn't do my job. Did I do my job? Because maybe they're not doing their job because I didn't do my job, right? If you can't see that, if you can't see the yin and the yang of that sort of symbiotic relationship, then that probably means that you're stupid. That means you're incredibly stupid, or you're incredibly arrogant, or you're at the very least a complete narcissist. So I'm gonna just tell you like this. Look, my background, I'm a mathematician. I taught math at the University of Kentucky. And one thing I know about math is that math is built on balance. It's built on equations having balance. Like, you can't solve the left side of the equation and ignore the right side of the equation. Math does not work that way. If you try to do that, if you try to solve the left side and you don't pay any attention to what's going on the right side, then you always going to be on the wrong side. You are not going to get the correct answer because you don't have enough information. You're ignoring a critical part of what's going to make that equation work. So with Democrats, what they're doing is they're paying attention to the left side, but they're ignoring the right side. They're paying attention to what's happening over here, but they're not paying any attention at all to what's happening over there. And the fact that they have the audacity and the nerve to come up and not just do what Joe Biden said and say, if you don't vote for me, then you ain't black. But they're also they're voter shaming black people by telling black people, well, you didn't show up to the polls and you're the reason that Trump got into office. And then on top of that, they're suppressing the black vote, voter suppression, by basically forcing you to vote a certain way, telling you that if you don't vote this way, then something is wrong with you. You're mentally ill. You're a sellout. You're a piece of crap. No, that's not freedom, y'all. I don't know. I'm not telling you guys what to do in the polls. I told you guys, I go out of my way not to tell you what to do in the polls. I deliberately and explicitly make sure that I never tell you what to do, right? Because I get accused of telling you what to do, but I don't tell you what to do. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I tell you what I think and what I see, but I don't tell you what to do. Because at the end of the day, my number one goal as a person who claims to care about you is to support and protect your freedom. And these people don't give a damn about freedom. Because if you cared about freedom, you would encourage black people to do what's best for them instead of continuing the long-held tradition of exploiting black people, using black people for your own benefit, but not giving a damn about the people that you're using. It's all over our society that black people are like, y'all are the whores of America. Y'all don't know if you know this or not, black people, but I hate to break it to you, but let me just break it down for you right quick. Sorry, I got to clear my throat for this because I want to make sure I'm 100% clear for the dumb motherfuckers in the back who don't get it. Look around you. The Democratic Party uses you for votes, but doesn't feel the obligation to do hardly anything for you. Prison system, little small hillbilly redneck towns love to have prisons in their community, not so they can bring these black and brown people into their communities and make them functioning partners in the community, but so they can get that check. They can get that money that comes with having a prison in your town and those extra jobs that come with it. The NCAA loves to have black athletes on campus. They love to have black people on campus on one condition. You got to be 6'6" and be able to dribble a basketball. If you're not 6'6" and can dribble a basketball, USC, UCLA, a lot of these universities don't even want your black ass around, right? If we can't use you, then we don't want you. Where else are we used? Spending, consumer spending. A lot of white businesses that you frequent, that you give your $1.3 trillion to, won't even hire you for senior management, won't even give you an opportunity. There are sports teams, there are universities out here that will recruit black athletes, unpaid black athletes all day long. But when it's time to hire a head coach, they're not going for the black guy. They're going to get Nick Saban. They're going to let him make $12 million a year. You get to do the free labor. Like, I can go on and on and on. On and on and on. The educational system. These shitty ass inner city schools that ain't educating shit for black kids. Black kids coming out here can't even read. Come out dumber than they were when they walked into the damn school and more brainwashed, right? So now you're not just stupid, but you're stupid and brainwashed. These schools, they love having their black babies coming into the school. Why? Well, because they get a big government check by bringing your child to that school and labeling your child as learning disabled so they can put them in special classes and get a bigger check. You see, black people get used the same way KFC uses chickens. KFC does not love chickens. KFC, but they want the chickens. They love to have as many chickens as possible, but they don't actually give a shit about the chickens. They don't care about the chicken's freedom. They don't care about the chicken's happiness, the chicken's fulfillment. They love the chickens because the chickens can be brought to the farm, fattened up, so their heads can be chopped off and they can be sold at your local KFC. You black people, when it comes to how the Democrats deal with you or how the American capitalist system deals with you, how media deals with you, how the educational system deals with you, you are pretty much a group of KFC chickens. That's what you are. Everybody wants to use you, but nobody really wants to be down for you. Everybody wants something from you, but nobody expects to give anything back to you. So it's up to you at some point to decide which part of that deal doesn't work for you. You know, some black folks, maybe they feel like that's the best they can get. Maybe their self-esteem is shot to the point where they don't feel like they deserve any better. I don't know. I don't care. Whatever people want to do is what they can do. But I'm going to tell you like this. When I look at those numbers and I said, damn, wow, you mean to tell me really? Like I'm going to repeat some of this. So for some of y'all who just got here, Trump won Wisconsin by 23,000 votes and 93,000 black people didn't vote in Milwaukee. Now, again, Simone Sanders might say, well, dang, these black people ain't voting. They need to vote. My thought is, wow, y'all really must not be doing nothing for the black people in Milwaukee, because if you're really down for black people will show up for you. like people know, like black folks, if you assume black people are stupid, then that's a whole nother conversation. But last time I checked, black people are human, and human beings, they know when something's going to impact their lives and when something isn't going to matter at all, right? So if you, for example, if you tell them to show up and do a job and they're never going to get paid to do that job and it's a hard job, then nobody's going to show up for work. But if they know if they show up for the job, they're going to get paid, then everybody shows up for work. So the fact of the matter is that when you see that 93,000 black people in Milwaukee didn't vote, you can voter shame if you want to, or you can complain about it if you want to. But my question is, well, maybe they didn't do their job because you didn't do your damn job. Maybe it's because Milwaukee has a bunch of politicians that claim to be down for the black community, but haven't done a damn thing to change the lives of black people. Like when Elijah Cummings was running Baltimore and parts of Baltimore became complete shitholes, and then they got mad because Donald Trump called it for what it was. I mean, it came out of his mouth. Maybe that's why they didn't like it, but you heard it from me too. There are parts of Baltimore that are complete shitholes, and I'm sitting here looking at these politicians like, what are you doing? Like, why is none of this changing? And why are you expecting loyalty from people that you're not giving loyalty to in return? When you look at Trump, the fact that Trump won Florida by 113,000 votes. Wait, 379,000 black people in Miami didn't vote, so they could have turned the election. So really, what they're really showing me in this data is not that black people are stupid and lazy. Some of us are, most of us aren't. They're not showing me what black people should have done. They're showing me that what represents, in my opinion, two facts. One, that black people can shift your elections. Black people are the key, right? So to me, if something is the key, then I'm going to figure out how to solve that puzzle. I'm going to figure out how to give that person what they need in order to incentivize them to support me, right? So you show me that black people can change elections, and you show me that the Democratic Party has failed in motivating the black community to feel compelled to support them, right? Like if I get mad because my boss did not give me a big enough paycheck, I got to ask myself, well, did I actually show up to work? And the Democratic Party basically is complaining that you didn't give them a paycheck, but every time you ask them to show up to work, they tell you they're too busy. Well, what the community is saying to you is, well, if you're too busy for us, that's okay. We're too busy for you. How about that? How about it just is what it is? So that's my 2 cents. What's the solution? I think the Democratic Party knows the solution. If the Democrats want Trump out of office, they can get him out of office. But they got to do right by black folks. If they don't do right by black folks, then guess what? It'd be another 4 years of Make America Great Again. It ain't changed my life. I mean, I haven't seen any substantive change one way or the other. So, so you can talk all day about how much you hate Trump. I'm not saying that, once again, I want to make it 100% clear. Everybody who's watching, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not telling you not to vote or to vote for any particular party or anything like that. I'm telling you to do what your ancestors wanted. Your ancestors did not die for you to, go vote for a political party. Your ancestors died for you to be free. And fucking free means you do what the fuck you want. Can I please get an agreement on this? Can you please type yes in the chat if you understand what the fuck freedom is? Because some of y'all black folks don't even know what freedom is. Y'all think freedom is just higher level slavery. Like, well, if I finds me a better master who tells me what to do and he pays me good, and I wear some good fancy overalls and whatnot, then I'm gonna feel good. No, man, freedom means you do what the fuck you want. Seriously, like, do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? So that's what I want black people to have, is freedom. And the fact that they are so resistant to a purist freedom message for black people, meaning liberty, the right to do whatever the hell you want, the fact that they're so resistant to that message should tell you something about how they feel about black freedom. They don't believe in liberty. Anybody who's trying to force you to do something does not believe in your right to choose. They don't. And I'm not talking about abortion. I'm talking about just in general, right? Seriously, like seriously, ladies, any man who forces you and shames you and pressures you into having sex with him does not believe that you have the right to choose what happens with your body. He's saying, I have the right to choose, and your only right is to do what the fuck I say. So the Democrats are committing a form of political rape. Like, they are committing a form of at the very least, it's like a politicized version of sexual harassment. They're like, come on, girl, give me the pussy, girl, give me the pussy, girl, give me the pussy, come on, girl, give me some, girl, come on, give me some, girl, come on, girl. Stop it. Seriously, if you can't show respect and earn the right to receive whatever it is that you want to receive from that person, you cannot go in and take it, and you cannot go in and harass that person to death until they give it up to you. That is not appropriate behavior. So I really think this type of political harassment by the Democratic Party should be called out for what it is. I've never heard anybody else speak of it in that particular way, but I think intelligent people can understand what I'm saying. They have no right to harass you to do anything. The only thing that they should be allowed to do is to do what a respectable man does when he wants to get with a woman. There is nothing wrong with a man who wants to get in a woman's drawers, right? Because men been sleeping with women since the human beings came into existence. So there's nothing wrong with a man who wants to sleep with a woman. But the thing is, at the end of the day, he must come correct. You must persuade that woman to make the decision to want to be with you, and if she chooses not to be with you, then that is something that you cannot control. You cannot pressure your way into her vagina. So the same thing is true when it comes to voting. If you try to persuade black people to vote for you, some of us will, some of us won't. And at the end of the day, you can't pressure your way into it. You can't guilt trip your way into it. You can't manipulate your way into it. You must accept the verdict that comes from us, because we believe, at least I believe, that we have the right to be fundamentally free. Fundamental freedom means having the right to choose what you do with your vote. So I support you. I'm not voting Democrat in the next election. I'm not voting Republican. I'm voting for black people. So I'm voting for you to be free. I'm giving you the best thing I could possibly give you. So I want to make sure this is clear, because I don't want people to think that I'm trying to get people to do one thing or the other. I just want you to do what's best for you and your family. And if anybody has a problem with that, then you need to double check. You need to give the side eye to anybody that has a problem with you doing what's best for you. That person does not have your best interest at heart, in my opinion. Excuse me. All right, guys, I'm out of here. And by the way, if you ever see me cough or sneeze, please do not run around thinking that it's the Rona. I have allergies. So in allergy season, I always cough and sneeze. So let's get off that alarmist conversation. I'm going to be fine. All right, guys. So have a good day. Please hit the thumbs up button, share, and subscribe button. And also, if you want to learn to buy your first share of stock, I highly recommend you become investors. I'm hoping, my dream, like Dr. King had a dream, my dream is that is that we can have a stock market participation rate amongst our tribe that exceeds white people and everybody else. That's as high as millionaires. The number one factor that distinguishes millionaires from everybody else, self-made millionaires, is that a large percentage of millionaires invest in the stock market, about 90%. So I want us investing like millionaires. And what's going to happen is some of you will become millionaires, because the first step to becoming a millionaire is behaving like one. So if you want to learn to buy your first share of stock, feel free to go to firstshareofstock.com. That training is totally free. So just hop in, firstshareofstock.com. I'm out of here, guys. Have a good day. I'll see you soon. Peace.
Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones who late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to cosign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10. 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr. Boyce TV. Here we are.